rain wouldn't stop that night. It beat against the small window of the servants' quarter like the sound of 1,000 quiet tears. Amina sat on the edge of her narrow bed, her hands still trembling from the phone call she'd just received. Her younger brother, Malik, had passed away. The words kept repeating in her mind, sharp and unreal, like glass shards lodged in her chest. He was only 17. She had left him back home in Georgia, promised she'd send money soon, promised she'd come back once she earned enough. But now there was no soon, no tomorrow, only silence. She pressed her palms to her face and cried until the morning light crept in. That same morning, she was due to start her new job, as a maid for one of the most powerful CEOs in the city. Her heart was broken, her soul bruised. But she didn't have the luxury to stop. She buttoned her uniform, wiped her tears, and whispered to herself, "You keep going, girl, because that's what Malik would want." The mansion loomed like a mountain. Tall, cold, and painfully quiet. It didn't feel like a home. It felt like a museum of success, where joy wasn't allowed to breathe. Amina was shown around by Mrs. Jenkins, the head housekeeper, a woman with sharp eyes and a sharper tongue. "Stay out of the East Wing," she warned. "That's where Mr. Reeves' daughter stays. She doesn't like people." The Mr. Reeves, the CEO, was a man whose name appeared in magazines and news headlines. Everyone spoke of his brilliance, his leadership, his billions. But the moment Amina stepped into that house, she sensed something else behind the marble walls: loneliness. Every maid walked quickly, eyes down. Every butler moved as though afraid to disturb a ghost. During her first week, Amina noticed the girl, Emily. She was small, about 8, with curly blonde hair that hid her face. She sat alone in the garden every day, lining up small petals in perfect rows. No one spoke to her. When Amina asked about her, the others shrugged. "She's different," they whispered. Best to leave her be. But Amina couldn't ignore her. One afternoon, she watched Emily drop one of her stones. The child froze, trembling, eyes darting, breathing quick. The nanny simply rolled her eyes and turned away. Amina's heart clenched. She knew that panic, the fear of losing control. She knelt beside Emily, picked up the small stone, and whispered softly, "It's okay, sweetheart. Look, it didn't run away. It's right here." For the first time, Emily looked up. Her blue eyes met Amina's dark ones, wide, searching, uncertain. That simple moment cracked the silence that had ruled the house for years. But Amina didn't know it yet. She was just a broken girl trying to comfort another broken soul. That night, as she lay in bed, Malik's face came to her again, smiling, teasing, alive. And she whispered into the dark, "I did something good today, lil' brother. Maybe small, but good." Days turned into weeks. Emily began to wait for Amina near the garden bench every morning. She rarely spoke, but she watched Amina's every move. One day, while Amina hung laundry, Emily tugged at her sleeve. "Why do you sing?" she asked softly. Amina smiled. "Because it keeps my heart from breaking." Emily tilted her head. "Is your heart broken?" Amina paused. The question sliced through her carefully built walls. "Yes," she whispered, "but singing helps it remember the light." From that day, Emily began humming whenever Amina cleaned. It was off-key, shy, but beautiful. The sound of something slowly healing. One afternoon, Amina found Mr. Reeves standing by the window watching them. His face, usually so stern, softened for a moment before hardening again. "Don't get too close," he said coldly. "She gets attached easily. It's complicated." Amina nodded, but her heart disagreed. Later she learned why. Mr. Reeves' wife had left years ago, unable to handle Emily's diagnosis. He buried himself in work, building his empire while his daughter built walls of silence around herself. That night, Amina wrote in her notebook. A habit Malik had taught her: some hearts don't break. They just freeze. Until someone dares to hold them. The next morning, Amina brought Emily a gift. A small bracelet made of wooden beads. "Each bid," she said, "is for one happy memory we'll make." Emily smiled for the first time. Not wide, not loud, but enough to light up something long darkened inside Amina. They laughed. They played. They healed, little by little. And somewhere between those quiet afternoons, Amina realized, helping Emily was helping her too. It happened on a Sunday morning. Reeves came home early and found Emily laughing. Truly laughing. As Amina twirled her around the living room, he froze. The sound was foreign to him. He hadn't heard that laugh since his wife left. "What did you do?" he asked, voice breaking. Amina turned, startled. "I just listened, sir. That's all she needed." Tears glistened in his eyes, unbidden and raw. "I didn't know how. I thought love meant fixing things. I didn't realize that she didn't need to be fixed." Amina nodded gently. She just needed to be seen. That night, Mr. Reeves came to the garden. Emily was asleep, her little bracelet resting on her wrist. "She changed," he said quietly. "No," Amina whispered. "She bloomed. You just forgot how to look." He looked at her. Really looked, and for the first time, saw not just a maid, but a woman who had carried her own storm and still found the courage to bring sunshine into someone else's life. Weeks later, Amina stood at Malik's grave back home. She laid flowers and smiled through her tears. "You see, Malik, I found my purpose. I couldn't save you, but I helped someone else smile again. And that's something, right?" A soft wind brushed her cheek, like an answer. Darson moral of the story, healing doesn't always come through grand gestures. Sometimes, it begins with simple words, gentle presence, and the courage to see what others ignore. True strength is found not in fixing the broken, but in loving them as they are. And through that love, healing yourself too.